So I think teamwork is an interesting ideology because, look, there's a simple way of looking at it, like, look, everyone can work together in unison, almost like an assembly line, and everything works very well and a lot more efficiently. I think teamwork goes a lot deeper in terms of like the personal relationships you make, and then within that is how can those relationships then help you become a better person outside the office, but also inside the office. How can you push each other in a very positive light in essence. So I think having the right people around you and understanding one another's pros and cons will really help you understand how you guys can benefit off one another and make the environment a lot positive and obviously successful financially. So sales success is definitely not luck. Now, a lot of people don't understand that, but at the end of the day, sales is a process, and it's not just an easy thing like, hey, do you need a pencil? Okay, here it is. You got to understand what people need in their life. Why do they want a certain object itself? What are they planning to do with this object, and how can they take advantage of it? And also, like, what object is also the best for them? So I think it's just a matter of understanding the person that you're having conversation with, the prospect itself, and understanding what can you do to make their life better when it comes to this specific thing that you guys are obviously trying to talk about. So I think in terms of the last point, the consistency in training, I think it's an everyday process. Look, at the end of the day, your managers, myself, I'm always here to help people in account executive positions, even our business development associates. I think it's an interesting dynamic because look, one, we have a great training school, but two, I think the everyday learning, and we hear the experience, whether it's myself on the phone, Kevin's a manager in our office, like he's on the phone. Yes, it's great to hear them, speak, go about their day-to-day activities, but also when you hear them, you try to implement it. And, when you do your own roles, let's say you're a business development associate, you have different tasks than what I would have per day-to-day, but you try to at least take what I do, put it into your day-to-day, and then look, eventually, obviously you're not gonna be the same as me. I also don't want you to be the same as me. I want you to figure out your own way, learn from me, but then eventually find a hybrid version of what makes you within this work environment. So I think that aspect of training is an interesting idea. However, the first point you made, just in the training in general, I think it's just, look, when you're in training school, I think we put a lot of work into it. We know what works, what doesn't work at the same time. We understand that people, let's say they even have experience coming from a sales role, maybe a finance role. Look, we're never going to take away your knowledge that you learned from other things that you learned in the past, but at the end of the day, we want to develop it, we want to nourish it, and we want to make it even better. So I think the training school is designed for that, is to not just replace something, but is to, all add and obviously influence and make better decisions around what you also know, and then, hopefully better decisions moving forward for other things as well. So I think the easy way to explain that, I think that's a loaded question, but look, adversity, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, you don't want to just have smooth sailings all the time. I think it's fun, sure, it's a lot of pros to that, but if everything is going well all the time, you never know what you need to fix, how you need to become a better person, a better salesperson, at least for my sake, in my role. But at the end of the day, it's like when you know that there's things that aren't going in your way, again, the question is like, how do you deal with adversity? It's about learning and understanding that, look, there's always going to be a positive. No matter how much negative is thrown at you, how much stress you have to deal with, how down you are from a mindset perspective, understand that there's always going to be, at the very least, one little bit of light that's within all that darkness. And if you're able to, at least, you don't need to be like, obviously identify it and be like, okay, I'm okay, but just understand that that's there. And look, maybe it's a matter of time. Some people take a little bit longer to deal with adversity than others, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's as long as you understand that there's still a positive there, it's something that allows you to drive towards that and move away from the negativity and obviously overcome that adversity eventually. And then you learn to also just adapt to situations at the end of the day. So I think that's one of the other key skill sets that you learn within Marcus Evans itself is, look, when things aren't going your way, there's other ways you can make things happen. So I think it's just trying to deal with that. Being exposed to vulnerabilities allows you to give yourself the opportunity to grow as a person and also grow your skill set too. So I think one of the key things is that they keep it very real with you. They make your goals realistic. Kevin's very direct about it. A lot of people in the Montreal office, I can name Jeff, Tom, Draga, within the actual Montreal area, the offices themselves, I think they're very clear and direct. Like, look, this is the picture that you can achieve. but there's steps to obviously go through to obtain those objectives. So I think if you hit them, you will be respected and you will be given the titles that come with, obviously growing from leadership into leadership positions. But you do need to understand, starting as a BDA, that there's a number of things that you need to do properly for you to be ready. You could be the greatest salesperson, but if you also don't have that personal skill set, then you may not be the right manager. So just trying to find that in between is hard, but it's always possible. And look, these managers are here to help you no matter what, every single day. If that's what you want to do, they'll make sure that you'll eventually get there. It's just a matter of when and how hard you want to actually try to achieve that. We have a good foundation. I think I think when it comes to all teams, all groups, whether it's a work environment, whether it's a project at university and you're working with a group of other students that you don't know, having a good foundation of what you guys are as people, but also what you're trying to achieve, I think is a very important, but it's just a key feature within a group of individuals. Because look, everyone can be great at what they want to do as an individual level, but if you guys don't have that similar foundation that you guys are targeting towards together at least, I think it will not allow you to get there, but it will be a lot more efficient if you guys obviously have a clear idea about what you're trying to do collectively. And I think is also trying to pursue and push people to be themselves at the end of the day, but also while understanding that as much as you want to be yourself, you got to be also conscious of who else is around you. And if you understand that and you could find the in-between, I think it'll allow for a very successful group to exceed and push to new heights.